He exhausts me. Bring me the stone.
What's up everyone, my name is Max and today we'll be looking at the 76108, the Sanctum Sanctorum Showdown. I'm trying to keep these reviews as up to date as possible, and since there for one is a rumor of a UCS Sanctum Sanctorum releasing this summer, as well as the new Doctor Strange movie releasing in about a month, I thought it makes sense to upload this now. But before we start, please excuse my poor English, I'm no native speaker, so please just keep that in mind. But now, let's jump into this review with this set's basic information. It released in 2018 as part of the Infinity War wave and had a retail price of $100, £90 or €100 depending on where you live. It came with 1004 pieces and a total of 5 wonderful minifigures, with 4 of them being exclusive to the set even 4 years later. It was designed by Justin Ramsden, who made some of the most beloved Marvel sets like the Civil War Airport Battle or the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle, both from 2016, so he's got quite an impressive collection. But now, let's get into further detail, starting with the minifigures of the set.
Long, you're invited to my wedding. Give me a little juice Friday.
So first up we have Iron Man in his Mark 50 armor. This is the only not exclusive figure of the set, because it also comes in the Thanos Ultimate Battle, as well as the Iron Man Hall of Armor. I think, and don't quote me on this, that this was the first Iron Man figure where they actually printed blue onto the eye holes. It's nothing special, just something I noticed. The figure itself looks great, super detailed printing all over. We have toe printing, we have back printing, no arm or side leg printing, but that's fine. There's only ever been one Iron Man figure with them, so it's not really bothering that we don't have those here. And under the helmet flap we have just the basic RDJ face. Looks good, they really nailed the likeness here. And on the other side we have the hub, which they first introduced with this figure. I like it, and especially for kids who actually still play with their figures, it's a great detail. Next up we have Peter Parker in his Iron Spider suit. The face printing on my one is sadly a little scratched off, but it's just the normal MCU Spider-Man mask they used until late 2021. The torso is nothing particularly special. On this figure we actually have arm printing like on most of the MCU Spider-Man suits, and sadly the legs are not dual molded, although it fit perfectly here. We also have some hardly recognizable hip printing, but it's there, just very hard to see. And the pincers, yeah, I don't like these. They are way too bulky in comparison to the actual ones from the movie. Here I think the 2015 version did a way better job by actually using those spider-like pieces. So overall it isn't a bad minifigure, but there are a lot of things they could have done better on this one. If you want an example of how a perfect version of this figure would look like, look at the Phoenix custom version. And now to a Doctor Strange figure. This is almost the exact same one as the 2016 version, except for the hair. And the hair isn't as accurate as the one from the 2021 version, but this is still my favorite Doctor Strange hair. Don't know why, but I think it's great, honestly. The face is really good. The white highlights in his beard aren't accurate either, but you honestly can't really recognize them either way. The torso looks great and is really detailed. The eye of Agamotto should probably be gold, but otherwise it's really good looking. I also really like the transition of this belt thingy from the torso onto the hip and onto the legs. Just really appreciate all the detail, and on this one they also used the 2-piece fabric cape and not the rubber one. I honestly still favor this one as long as you're not using it in a display, for which I think the newer one works better.
Your powers are inconsequential compared to mine.
Yeah, but the kid's seen more movies.
Now talking about our most powerful Black Order member, Ebony. Great outfit, very detailed, backprinting as well, but I don't know about the head. Like, detail wise it's quite good. You even have like the hair on the back of the head, and yeah, the face may look a little off, but otherwise it's good, except for the color. Motherfucker isn't light blue, he's grey. I don't know at what concept art they were looking here, but he ain't blue. Lego isn't the only one though that got this wrong. Funko Pop also got it wrong, but they're still more on point than Lego. And last and least, we have Cull Obsidian. Let's be honest with ourselves here. He doesn't look like him at all. Don't get me wrong, it's a great figure, but it doesn't resemble him at all. All of the details on the head look great, the belt over the chest is a nice detail, but that's pretty much what the similarities end. He has no printing on his legs, and all of the scaling on his arms are just non-existent. Honestly, just a character that didn't translate well into a Lego format. But now, let's go over the actual build. So here we have it. Of course it isn't accurate at all. The Sanctum is a corner building and Peter's apartment doesn't border it, as well as there just not being a pizza shop under there, so we're really more so going for a playset / small display set. But let's just go into details, starting with the right side of the building. It's a 3-story building. On the outside you can see this little fire ladder leading all the way up to the 3rd floor. I personally really like these. They just give it this downtown feeling, and on the top we have a mini water tower. There's also this red pin right here, but we'll get to that later. What we also have here is this little I have no idea what to call it, but this little place for a minifigure to stand here, preferably Spider-Man of course. Now what you can do is take his web piece and attach it right here on the water tower, and now you can push this little red knob here on the roof and he flies right off. On the side of the building we have some more sticker detail as well as this net here. What this net does is if you turn it very quickly, it breaks this window. Just a nice little play feature, and 4 years ago I was super into it. Now down here we have Pepe's Pizza with some sticker detail on the door and window, which sadly didn't age that well. We also have this red pin right here. What this is supposed to do is you should push it in and then this window would pop out. Now mine is very worn out, so mine just won't pop out anymore. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Obviously it won't bother when you just display the set, but if you or your child want to play with it, it's just something to keep in mind. On the inside here we have some sticker detail on the right as well as a fire extinguisher. On the counter we have a pizza and a cash register, which is just the printed slow piece. Right next to that we have some doner meat, I hope I pronounced that right. And this part here is actually what would make the window pop out if mine still worked. On the left side of the room we have a pizza oven as well as one of those I again have no idea what they're called, but you know, the pizza in the oven thingy. Here they just used a normal pedal, which I think works just fine. I think it's kinda stupid that we don't have like a chef for the store. Obviously it wouldn't have made sense in the context of the scene, but we also had a firefighter in that one Spider-Man Far From Home set who didn't belong there at all. And like, we're obviously not aiming for accuracy, so why don't just put that corner store we see in Homecoming there and just give us the owner as a figure. I mean, including a 6th figure in a $100 set doesn't seem too unbelievable, but let's not get hung up on that. One story higher we have some boxes here with the sticker on the very top saying Peter's stuff. On the left we have what seems like Peter's office of sorts. On the wall there's again some sticker detail, and on the desk itself we of course have the computer, some files, and underneath the desk you can see a concept drawing of the homemade suit, which we still haven't seen as a minifigure to this day. And now moving to the top floor we have Peter's bed with some stickers on the wall above it, and on the right side there's this outline here, and if you pull that red pin that I mentioned earlier on the outside of the building you can see that it's a trapdoor. Why? I have absolutely no fucking idea why, but it is here and I'm not complaining. Now we're back here and looking at the outside of the Sanctum. The first two stories aren't anything particularly special, but you can see some detail on the door here, and overall I like how it looks. Up here though is where it gets interesting, because here we have the all-known Sanctum Sanctorum circular window, which doesn't have a name. I think, unlike on 2016, Doctor Strange said this window is a printed dish piece and not just a hole with some blades crossing it. On the top there's just some chimneys, nothing really interesting as on the other side. On the inside here we have this sticker that shows one of the portals, apparently one of the sorcerers made. Again, no idea why, but whatever. On this side though we have this window, and on the inside of this sanctum is a little grey handle, and when you twist that handle, the window pops out, revealing the time stone. Why does it sit behind a bookshelf? I have no idea, but you can see that this set is very heavy on play features. But that was the last one of the sets, so we finally have that out of the way. So, on the inside we have a green chair as well as this random table with a lamp on it. On the right side we have some sticker detail and weapons on both sides. Not really anything special on this floor, so let's move one up. The second floor is really a lot more detailed than the ground one, so let's just move left to right on this one. On the far left we have a bookshelf and the previously mentioned grey handle that you can twist to let the wall explode. On the ground there we have a page from the Book of Cagliostro, which was important in the Doctor Strange movie. On the wall behind it there's some sticker detail again depicting that portal that we talked about previously on the outside, and on the right we have a chest with 2 daggers in it. On the top floor here we obviously have that big ass window as well as 2 shelves on each side of the room. Below the table we have some letters, and on top we have a glass, a candle, and the Book of Cagliostro, which we saw one of the pages on the 2nd floor. And last but not least we have this corner piece. There's some boxes here, a trash can, and this net with a phone, probably Peter's. But the really interesting stuff is in the front here with this letterbox. In here we have some papers in form of printed tiles, and on the side of the box there's this sticker showing a paper with Daredevil on it. And by now we of course have a Daredevil minifigure, but when this set released in 2018, this was our first ever teaser at a Lego Daredevil minifigure, so everyone was pretty excited. Now we're pretty much at the end, but before I draw a conclusion, I just want to show you the different ways you can display the whole thing. So first up we have the corner style. This is how it's shown in the box, everything fits together nicely. Then we have the facade style. The corner piece looks a little off now, so let's just take it off. And this is actually how I display it. Of course you lose the one play feature with the exploding wall, but if I display it, it doesn't matter. And then last we have the closed up look. I'm not a fan of this, but I guess this is the best version if you want to store it somewhere or maybe just want one of the sides to show. But again, I would definitely remove the corner piece. But before we finish up the review, I just want to show you how I display it. I think it goes nicely with the Creator Pet Shop and the toy store. I honestly wish we got some more houses in that line, but whatever. Now I'll give you my final verdict. Honestly, a great set, a pretty good price, and 4 minifigures as well as 1 big fig for a $100 set is quite good. Now, would I recommend buying this set? Of course, you'll probably want one when Multiverse of Madness releases if you didn't already want one at the release of No Way Home. But there is the rumor from Bricks that there will be a new Sanctum releasing this summer. It'll cost $220 and include 2,708 pieces, so it will probably be like a modular house as for example the Daily Bugle. Now $220 is a lot of money, but considering that this set goes for about $200 on the aftermarket currently and is probably not gonna fall in price anytime soon, is why I would recommend you wait till the new one is revealed. As said, it will have more than double the piece count of this one and will also partly be based off Multiverse of Madness, including for example multiple Doctor Strange variants, if the rumor's true. So as a final score, I would give the set a 9 out of 10 with currently no buying recommendation. And we're done, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and outside of that. I hope you enjoyed my second review on this channel. If you did, press the like and subscribe button. I also have a shorts channel on which I post every other day, as well as a second channel basically. I'm also on Insta and TikTok under the same name, but they're all linked in the description or the info card anyway. And with that, see you on the next video.